This video is part 1 of a 3-part series on creating a side scroller. In this video, we will give our character left and right movement functionality, and we will create boundaries for our character. Before doing this lesson, you should be confident using the advanced grid and creating animations. We're going to start off by putting rect mode center into function setup. That will make it easier for our character to interact with other objects later down the road while we're doing the game. Next, we want to make a variable for player X, setting that equal to 300, and a variable for player Y that's set equal to 350. We're going to use these variables as the location of our character. So now we're going back down to function draw, and we're going to create a background. We're going to make a ground, and we're basically going to just create a character that we're going to set right on top of that ground that we made. We can do this by just using a rectangle to represent the ground. Then for our character, we'll create an ellipse in the center of the screen right above the ground so it just looks like it's resting on it. Remember that we have variables for our character, so we'll want to use those for our ellipse's coordinate. We'll also want to give color to our character and our ground using fill. So as of right now, I have in our background, I have the rectangle, and I'm putting in the ellipse. The next thing that I'll want to do is add in the fill commands above the shape that I want everything to be filled in with. So I'm going to choose a shade of brown for the ground and just paste that in there. And then I want to do the same thing above the ellipse, give it a color so that it doesn't all blend in. Our next step is going to be enabling our character to move. So to move left, we're going to start with a statement that says if key is down, and then inside of the parentheses, we'll put a key code. Every key has a key code. You can use the little settings button to pull up our key picker, which will allow you to find those codes on your screen. So if key is down, and then in the parentheses, we're going to put the code for A, which is 65. We're going to use the W, A, and D keys for our character movement in this game. Then we want to say if that key is down, player X equals player X minus 5, which will move it to the left. I'm going to copy this and just use it for my right movement, just changing that key command to 68, which is the code for D, which will move it to the right. And we're, instead of saying player X equals player X minus 5, we're going to do plus 5. So now our character can move left and right. Our final step is to create some boundaries for our character to make sure that they can't go past the left and right side. So we're going to say if player X is greater than 975, then we want player X to equal 975. I'm going to try that out, and actually I think 675 is going, or 650 will be the right boundary that I want to have. You can see up top that 650 is right about where I'd want it to stop. Perfect, and it's doing that. So the next thing that I want to do is the left side. So for the left side, I'm going to say if player X's location is less than 25, then player X should be equal to 25. And I could just copy, paste, and use the same code. Doing it like this will save you a lot of time. So you just have to change that greater than sign to a less than sign, change the number to 25, and change it so that it'll equal 25 when it gets there. Perfect, so now we have a character who can move left and right, can't go outside of the screen.